Peoples, welcome to On the Mic with the M.
Auntie,
All right, peoples, let me just fill you in. This is the last podcast for 2022.
love it.
We're so blessed and happy, and we just want to thank you guys. We want to thank you guys personally of just showing us love. We started off this
Thank
year and
you.
just yes, we just said we're gonna put this together and we're just going to start to put have a conversation and have a real conversation about real topics and see what happens. And we have a lot of downloads on the audio podcast. We have a lot of people join the um the YouTube channel. So brain is just I'm just overwhelmed. I'm just happy that we are touching lives and we are making changes in people's lives, and we just blessed that you guys are listening to us and taking our advice and making change with your life. Also, you see us been we've been virtual for the past few weeks, but next year we're gonna have a brand new set, graphics, music, everything. We're gonna have different, more topics, more everything. So I just again want to thank you guys for being here, supporting us, and giving us that extra fire to help you guys, help us, help you. What you want to
Keep
say,
on
T?
going. I mean, you pretty much summed it up. We appreciate people joining us on the journey. Um, and we're gonna keep it going. We're on to something great. Let's go.
Yes, yes, yes. Now, ladies and gentlemen, today's topic is going to be very simple. It's going to encapsulate the entire year, and it's going to be, listen to this very carefully. You cannot heal in a place that made you sick in the first place. Let me repeat that. You cannot heal in a place that made you sick in the first place.
Right.
And that is a very, very important statement I just made. A lot of people try to make decisions and constantly make decisions and then say, damn, it don't work. Like every year, we do a New Year's resolution. I promise I'm going to lose weight. I'm going to find a new man. I'm going to get a new haircut. I'm going to do all this stuff. But if you look around, you're still doing the same thing you did the year before that, the year before that, and the year before that. And it hasn't changed. Why? Because you're in the same spot. You're not moving. You're not progressing. You're not changing. So you have to do that in order to really find your purpose and
Right.
find your true happiness. I mean, I hear it all the time. How about you, T? You hear people say that all the time. This New Year's, I'm gonna make that change, and by the fifth of the month, the same shit they've been doing the last 20 years.
Yeah, because they didn't change where they was at. You in the same place. The same place that got you where you at is the same place that you still in. Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
And
and I don't get it. I don't get
if
it.
I think I get it, right? If I
You
think
do?
about it, I mean,
Okay.
maybe I'm gonna
Okay.
try to, like picture this
Okay.
situation, right?
Okay.
Now, let's say if the thing that got you dirty or the thing that got you sick, right,
Mm-hmm.
was like dirt, right, a germ, right,
Mm-hmm.
and
Mm-hmm.
let's say that you could see the germs, right? Let's
Okay.
say you in a room full of germs and you can see all these germs. You would either one, clean the room and rid the room of the germs, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or you would get out of the dirty room that has all the germs present, right? So
Mm-hmm.
that you can heal. But you
Yes.
know visually that if you see all of these germs in front of you, that you cannot heal here.
True. Very
But
true.
because we can't see it every day, it doesn't feel dirty. It doesn't look too dirty. So we're just sitting in it. Can't even see our own
Oh,
filth in order to move on. Hmm.
that's interesting.
Mhm.
I like that point.
Yeah, I'm thinking like if I had to visualize it, if I could see it, I would clean it, get rid of it, or I would move. I would leave. I would leave it alone because it wouldn't make sense for me to see germs and stay where germs are at. And so sometimes those germs can be your parents, right?
Oh,
I mean,
oh,
just keeping it real. Because
that's true.
relationships are relationships, right?
Hmm.
And it can be toxic, they can be toxic to your growth, right? And you
Absolutely.
perhaps they hurt you along the way, and you got to grow and move on and come out of their space, come out of the space that you're in order to heal and to grow on. And it could be vice versa. It could be the parents, vice versa with the children
Hmm.
who's sucking them
Hmm.
dry. It could be any relationship. It could be the woman with the man. That woman
Oh,
is sucking on you, sir, and you're willing to stay there. In that situation, she's pretty much a pathogen, sorry to say. And I said that about the men. Hey, I missed my marker. But what if a woman is a pathogen in your life, right?
God
And
damn.
and you keep getting sick.
Yes.
And you
Yes.
now, if you could see her as a germ, you would no, I'm not going to keep trying to get better and keep this germ around me. You would easily make them kick rocks. But because you acting like these people not germs around you, getting you sick, all these pathogens trying to leech on us. We cannot heal in the same places where people have hurt us.
That is so true. I never
Dirty
thought about it like that. Like,
places where people have soiled our space, and like we are physically, body is aching, losing weight out here, getting skinny. Some people gaining weight. So they can do whatever depending on your level of depression. So for
that is
some
true.
people, they gain weight. For other people, they lose weight, hair falling out, hair going gray. Nah, you're sick. Okay.
Oh, God
And how you gonna
damn.
heal it? How you gonna heal your body from all that ache, all that turmoil?
Oh my God. And
Hmm?
you know what's so sad though? There's some people that know for a fact that they're hanging around somebody or something that's making them sick,
Hmm.
but they're willing to sit in that, hoping that, yeah, I'm a little sick, but maybe if I hang around long enough, that they're not as bad as I think they are. Even I'm still sick. I'm
It's
suffering.
embarrassing. This one's embarrassing. True that. True that. True that. I
And
mean,
damn.
I can't even explain the mental space on that. But it's true. It is true. And you gotta, in order to change, you gotta sit with realities on things. And the reality of it is when you're ready to, grow up and get better for a long time, because what ends up happening sometimes is you get better for a little bit, so you think you okay, and then you
Yep.
end up getting sick again, and you're like, I keep getting sick. Why you keep getting sick? Why your hair keep falling out? Why your hair keep
Yes.
going gray? Why you keep gaining weight? Because you keep on keeping on with the person that hurt you, playing in the
Oh,
same spaces that hurt you, and talking about, oh, you got better. For how
how you
long?
get better? That's what I'm saying. It's temporary.
Mm-hmm.
We know people. I know people who've been miserable, who've been sick forever, and they keep trying all these different medications and all these different things, and they
Yeah.
went to hypnotists and acupuncturists and all these other and doctors and all that stuff. And I'm like, but you're still sick. Oh,
Mm-hmm.
they gave me all this medication. You take medications every day for stuff, and you still sick. But
Yep.
then you look at the one person that you know makes them sick. And you're
Yep.
like, I know that person make you sick. How the hell you
Yep.
don't know?
The
But
life
they're
sucker.
scared. It's life
Mm-hmm.
vampires.
Mm-hmm.
Just
Sucking the life
leeches.
out of you. Yeah.
Just sucking the life out of you, and you allow them to do that.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
then somehow, some way, you just imagining that, well, I'm really not that sick. Like, what the hell you mean you're not that sick? Do you see the
Mm-hmm.
medication you take it every day just to live? Not just to say, oh, I got a little headache, just to live. You take a heart medication, uh, all kinds of different blood pressure medication, because the mental has now affected your physical.
Yes. But
And
more
it's
than that, once they're both affected, you So you thought you convinced yourself that you wasn't that sick, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then, as if that wasn't bad enough, you then went on to think that you could grow on top of what you thought wasn't a problem.
Oh,
And that's what makes the situation even worse, because like you said, as we approach the new year, and we all come to kind of think about and reflect where we are at and where we're trying to go, so to speak, you're thinking that you could grow on this type of soil. You realize
exactly.
making the goals, trying to create a situation where you're able to hit the markers, and you in a crazy terrain. You still haven't cleaned up the space where you're trying to grow in, where you haven't even healed. You haven't even approached it. You don't even want to admit that there's real live a problem that needs to be assisted or adjusted on.
God damn. So you
Mm-hmm.
basically living in a fantasy world. In the sad
Yeah.
fantasy, not a good fantasy, a sad fantasy.
No.
Oh my
Very,
God.
yeah. Something that
Oh,
you created in order to, I guess, make it okay to keep on keeping on for
oh my
normalcy's
God.
sake, right?
Wow.
Because things that are familiar, right, to you,
Yes.
become just the things that are familiar. And
Oh,
sometimes that's just it, and that's all. What you know is what you do.
but T,
And
at what point do you say that this shit ain't working? At what point do reality kick in, and you at this point at the end of the year you want to look at, I need to change some things, and you're like, I have to change. It's at what point do you like, I have to really make a change in order for it to change, or you just say, you just keep wishing upon a star that it changes, but you've been with this dude for 10, 15, 20 years, and he ain't marry you, you got a rack of kids, and he keep promising you one day, I'll make you an honest woman, I'll make you honest, just hang in there. Now 20 years ago, like we said before in the previous one, you were 20 then, now you're 40,
yeah,
still ain't putting a ring on it, you playing house, playing hubby, playing wifey, and you don't use the term wifey, no ring on your fingers, no one coming, no one pending. Everybody asks, when y'all getting married? He got to get ready for it. He got to get ready. What the hell? What does that mean? He got to get ready for it. What more you need? What more can you show him to make you give you what you want? As a woman, why would you even put yourself through that? Even though you're familiar with him, but it's something inside you should say, I'm wasting my time. I got to go.
yeah. I don't. It's the long term, for me, and how you make a change with something that's been a long term, ongoing cry for change. In my
Mm-hmm.
personal opinion, that's somebody's gonna have to intervene and aid in something that you would have already said out loud that you needed help with, or that you want change in that arena.
Mm-hmm.
Even maybe something that's short term, that's been going on for a short term amount of time.
Yeah.
Sometimes that change that's really needed, it's it needs aid, right? And
Mm-hmm.
perhaps even support in order to get you from A to B, from where
Mm-hmm.
you are at, to where you're trying to go to, even just in the mindset of moving from one guy and going on to the next guy.
Mm-hmm.
Perhaps you need some resources as far as men to speak to, as far as what you should be expecting and how you should be conducting yourself inside of a courtship or relationship, as you go on to approach another relationship, right?
Yeah.
Sometimes we just need information on how to get from A to B, and sometimes you need somebody to hold your hand as you go from A to B. Like straight up. Some people you're gonna have to hold their hand. And some people you're gonna have to get in physical and help out with the change. You just think about all the different scenarios.
Oh my God, that is
Um,
so true. And then,
mhm,
and we're talking about if you just the two of you guys, and now if you put kids into the mix, it really
exactly.
complicated because now the kids are they basically see you basically living quote unquote wedlock. It's like in their mind it's like, yeah, they're my mom and dad. He ain't really commit to my mama, but I know he had me, but he ain't really say I do. There's no ring, and they call each other wifey and hubby and all that, but there's really no commitment there. So the kids grow up thinking, oh, okay, so I really ain't got to really commit. As
Mm-hmm.
long as I'm kind of taking care of home, then that should be good enough. So you just passed on that
Hurt.
hurt,
You
hurt.
passed on that hurt. And so then you're going to see the person who received that passed on hurt grow up in that environment, right? Where
Hmm.
they can't heal at, which we started defined in the beginning, that you can't heal in the same place that you hurt at. And then they're going to think that they can then grow something great on top of that, because naturally you aging out, you growing up, you're going to want to involve in other relationships out inside the world, and you're going to come up short, and you
Yes.
can't go back home and try to heal in the same space that basically gave you the hurt. If home didn't teach you the proper ways,
Hmm.
then you have to go outside of home to learn how to properly function inside of a relationship, because it gave you the hurt.
Yes. Yes,
Mm-hmm.
it did. And now you have to search. But and the other thing is, so many people live in that world of hurt that, and you meet other people who lived in the world of hurt. That it's like, how do I?
Normalized.
It's normalized,
Mm-hmm.
and where do I go to find this? Where do I go to see that what I went through is not normal? It's
Mm-hmm.
abnormal, but
Mm-hmm.
people makes it normal. And I think that's the thing. A lot of people don't know where to really go to find that help. Because think about it. If you hang around a whole bunch of people who basically live in a world of hurt, you can't get nothing from them. All they can tell you is my hurt maybe a little bit more than yours. Maybe my daddy don't beat my mama, but my hurt, daddy beat mama all the time. Or in some cases, mama beat the brakes off of daddy. And so now I'm like, oh, daddy get beat up all the time, which we never
Mm-hmm.
talk about, which that's the other thing we never really talk about. There's a lot of people who, a
We want
lot
to
of
make
women.
us look good. It's still that traditional mindset going on that we're trying to help promote, that women are like pristine.
Okay. And let me tell you, it's so true. I was looking at something recently, and it was about a rap. I don't know these two people at all, but the producer was telling me about this rap couple, and they fight all the time. But the woman is the one that fight the guy all most of the time, and people think it's funny because they're like, "Oh yeah, she beat up all the time. Yeah, they always fight." And he tried to kick her out, but then she'll come and stab his tires or scratch his car up or beat him up. And I'm sitting there thinking that's disturbing because it's that people laugh at it because, oh, I hear he get beat up, but let that be reversed, and he beat her up.
Mm-hmm.
Now you're like, oh my God, he put his hands on a woman. You never put your hand on a woman. Well, my thing is nobody should touch anybody, and that's the other thing I had to tell people. A lot of people growing up, like, don't put your hand on people if you can't talk about it. Don't put your hands on them. I don't care how bad. And women, you know how y'all women are. Y'all can say some things that will make that would dig under the essence of who you are. Your fingernail gets so into their soul that
Mm-hmm.
will that pluck that little tune that you just want to knock her head off. But
Because we don't have muscles like you all. So our
give
strength is gonna come from them words. We're gonna jab you just like how you can get a good jab with your fist. Then jab you
oh
with some words,
and
and they both gonna hurt.
bad. Bad
Bad.
because you go for the essence. Y'all don't just go. Y'all don't slap box. Y'all just go right for the testicles. Boom! And next you know, the shock in our mind, like, no, she didn't go here. Now
Mhm.
attack my manhood and everything else. Now, as a guy, you should say, she hit me real low. She hit me very, very hard. but I'm not going to retaliate that way. I need to walk away. And I think that's what a lot of people need to start doing is to walk away from different things. Just separate.
But
Don't.
more than separating, are we going back to it? Like, and it's more than like the going back to the abusive like lifestyle. It's like, are we going back to the toxic interactions and the toxic
Mhm.
lifestyle and that which we know is dysfunctional, right? I think that's
Yeah.
pretty much what it comes down to, because is it just like oops situation, or is this like the tango that's occurring?
Well, let me tell you, T. I always tell every woman, if a guy slaps you, I
Mhm.
can guarantee you 99.9% of the time, he's gonna go from slapping you to choking you to punching you, because it comes to escalation. Because it's almost like he sees what he can get away with. First of all, if a guy touched you in the first place, that should be a wrap. You
Right.
should not try to figure out, well, he just slapped me this time. He didn't really choke me. You probably should leave at that point, because that means he can't control his own anger. And
Yeah.
you shouldn't be in that type of relationship, because that means that any other time something will make him mad and he's going to just lash out to you. I just say run, don't walk. Run in another direction, and don't go for, what, I was sorry, I was going through some things, please love me, and especially start saying, don't leave me, everybody else leaves me because my mom left me, my mom, grandma left me, everybody, my daddy left me. So that feeds into y'all motherly instinct. Oh, I
Yeah.
don't want, I don't want
The
to leave you hurt
guilt,
like that too.
the hurt. Yeah. You be like, playing on the woman side of things.
Yes. So, and a lot would fall for that. And next thing you know, they go from, oh yeah, he ain't mean nothing by it. Next thing you know, you put a stick on your eye. What happened to your eye? I fell into the refrigerator, or I fell on the floor, or I slipped on a rug, or I fell in the tub. Or
Mm-hmm.
look, your arm bruised. Why your arm bruised? Oh, you know what? I must have bumped into something. And
Mm-hmm.
then you're like, you do a lot of bumping. And also that kind of tells you like love should never hurt.
I think what ends up happening is that escalation, because most of the time it's not the classic textbook escalation, but in some order, like it escalates, right?
Yep. Yep.
Um, and
That's
I
true.
think that's the part that you try to pull the wool over your eyes with. Like, no, it's not really happening.
Yes.
No, it's not really mad now.
Yep. Yep. And then
Yeah.
next thing you know, he done grabs you up. Oh, wait, what you got that dress on for? Now he's trying to tell you.
Mhm.
And a lot of people don't understand is when you're in that type of hurtful relationship, it slowly starts to break down your self-worth.
Mhm.
Slowly. And if you have very fragile self-worth in the first place, it doesn't take much to break it. Because if this guy all of a sudden he's your everything, he shows you stuff that you never saw before, quote unquote, and you'll say, you know what, he treated me better than anybody. Even my family treated me. So it's almost like you give him a pass because at least he treated you better than your parents or whoever
Mhm.
raised you. So
Mhm.
okay, you're a little angry. Okay, well, I can deal with that. Or we can change that. But then you gotta understand he has to change because he has to understand that that's not normal behavior to put his hands on anybody because he feels a certain way. So you allow that to happen, then it's going to escalate. And Lord knows, do not bring a kid into that relationship because now the kid, if it's a daughter, looks at it and says, "Oh, it should be normal for a guy to hit me." Hey,
I mean,
I
well, for
remember.
the guy, for the male child, like hurt is hurt. They're gonna both receive the hurt from out of that hurt place, and the boy child is going to, perhaps understand it and translate it into aggression being okay, um,
Hmm.
or perhaps I don't want to be that type of person, but be a little more softer, because it's okay for men to be soft, but there's still a level of like, strength that needs to be exuded. But sometimes the boy who's like grown up in a household who he's felt like seen his mom defenseless, and as opposed to the dad protecting the mom and boasting her up, he kind of brings her down. Perhaps he becomes a little more timid, right?
Yeah.
But either way, there's a certain level of hurt that's going to be received out of that hurt situation, because now you have the mom who's hurting, and like how does everybody heal from that situation? you can't stay in that situation and try to heal and move on and think that you're going to build and thrive there. It's just not plausible.
It's not going to be. And again, women don't look too, based on what I know, women don't look too kindly to timid men. It
No.
doesn't make them want to go towards a timid guy, a guy that emotional, a guy that just you can move around however you want to move around. And I'm like, yeah, I can see how women wouldn't feel too comfortable with a guy like that. Because how do you a guy that timid is like, do I have to put on my boots and beat somebody's ass? Because you're gonna be like, oh, no, I don't really want to touch him.
You're questioning his level of protection.
Oh,
So
God.
if a character trait for you is timid, can I put protector and timid as the same two adjectives to describe you?
Oh,
can I say
yeah.
that he protects, he's the protector and the timid guy? Can those two words like describe a person?
No, because again, if a person is that extreme, if you're that extreme timid, then it's kind of hard for you to jump back and be a protector because you're timid. It's like two totally opposite ends of the spectrum. And just no, I can't. It may be some people like that. I don't know anyone personally like that. Usually, if they're timid, they're so timid, it's almost like she's like the female in the relationship because he's so timid. Or you get the guys so aggressive that's like, dog, turn it down a little bit, turn on the notch. You're always in that aggressive, ready to whip somebody's butt mode. So it's like it's got to be a fine medium. But we in this society today, it's so extreme. It's like, I gotta be a man, I gotta be aggressive, I gotta be. There's no medium mid ground. It's like either I'm extremely aggressive or I'm extremely timid. But you got to be that person in the middle to kind of gauge what's going on. But if, again, we said before, if your household is full of hurt and pain and all you see is one or the other, you learn that that's the essence of who you are when you're a kid. So you grow up, something has to happen for you to say, oh, I got to do something different. Because for you, you're like, oh, that's normal to me. Until you meet a woman who, God forbid, if she's went through some traumatic stuff. So you got two traumatic people that need healing in a bad, unhealthy relationship, and they're just trying to help each other, and they can't help each other because they can't help themselves. So it's like they got to find help. They got to find help from someone in order to get over that hump, or else you're just gonna pass on the next generation of craziness that we see all the time between, somebody was talking about Chris Brown and Rihanna was like 13 years ago when he beat Rihanna up and we chastised him. And well, you should. No woman, unless she's about to put a bullet in your head and she's lost it, I understand what you have to do. But outside of that, there's no reason you should ever put your hand on a woman. I don't care what she say to you. I don't care how she treats you. If she treats you that bad, get out the relationship. It's not worth it. And I heard people be in relationships, but she's fine though. She put it on you though. Negro.
I think that the Chris Brown and Rihanna thing was kind of that which I was referencing to before, where it's an interaction of that toxic situation. Like that was their thing. Like that's their relationship style. Like just toxic. As far as like, we fight. And there's a difference between the man attacking you and y'all fighting each other, right?
Yes.
It's a difference between somebody who's beating you and y'all two being engaged in a brawl, so to speak. And I'm not a fan of that whole situation. But a man shouldn't put his hands on a woman. But that situation that was created, it was truly toxic because, first of all, you're talking about young people. Yes. And how long you stay in a situation where you and a young guy exchanging blows. So the more you stay there and, hit him and then he hit you back and then you hit him back and then he hit you back and then y'all okay to sleep at night together, then it's like, we become to normalize it. So when the situation gets too out of control, and now, you know, her face is looking crazy and his face is looking crazy, and, you know, somebody is there to capture the situation, then what? You know,
Yeah.
like, it looks bad, but it especially looks bad, you know, on that guy, where we zoom in that lens on the men in our society for putting their hands specifically on women. But that situation, that really looked like one of those bad, dysfunctional relationships that unfortunately got the guy there casted in the worst light. And he paid the price for that for a long time.
Yes, he did.
The accolades that man like truly deserves, I don't know if he's received them, you know, because of that, like that shine, that brightness. I mean, he's great. I mean, the people love him, but like he might be on a different level had that situation not occurred.
That is so true. Very talented young man, and it's just unfortunate. And just when you hear, you know, we talk about that situation with Chris Brown and Rihanna, then you get this other fuck shit with Tory Lanez or Tory something and Megan Thee Stallion, where he shot her foot.
I
Shot
didn't know nothing about what was that about? I don't know nothing about that.
Somehow they got into this argument, and
But were they an item? Were they involved?
I don't think so. I think they were. They just went out, and
Same place.
they went out. Yeah, and they were in. Yeah, and somehow they were drinking, and then he told her to dance, and then she didn't dance, so he took his gun out and shot her in the foot.
Is it like from the movie? I'm just curious.
We shoot your little pinky toe off. Go ahead, I'm gonna shoot that little raggedy motherfucker. I'm laughing, but
that's
right.
The only thing that I can think of. Why you be shooting somebody in the foot?
Exactly.
Like, yeah, nah, we're gonna reenact this scene from the movie. You got me all the way messed up, and I'm gonna have a blast doing it.
Exactly. It's so crazy to me. And I heard it. I was like,
bluff.
Yes. Okay, there you go. There you go. Shoot my little finger toe off. He looked at boom. Off our toe. Hey, it's so crazy. He got convicted. And his daddy like, oh, they lied on my son. My son didn't do that. And blah, blah, blah. And yeah. And I'm sitting there like, again, I'm going to step outside the situation for a second and say to myself, at what point do you take out a gun, and shoot somebody, a woman, in her foot? I
told you at what point. At the point at which we said we was going to reenact this thing.
It's just so crazy to me. And I'm like, what are y'all doing? And the thing that just gets to me, because unfortunately, they are role models.
Mm-hmm.
They are unfortunately role models because people look up to them for whatever reason. So now you're looking at guys like, girl, don't let me Tory Lanez you. I'm gonna go ahead and Tory Lanez your ass. Keep running your mouth. And now it becomes a running joke, but it's no joke because this poor girl got shot in her foot. And we're like, how did we get here?
Yeah.
What kind of relationship? Where in your head? Where are you that you could feel comfortable pulling a gun out? You could have killed. We know all the different arteries running in her leg. He could aim for her foot and shot her in her leg, shot her in her thigh, in that main artery that runs from your thigh to your heart. She could have bled out and died.
See, this is one of those situations though where I mean, like, somebody's going to have to intervene physically. Right. So wherever space and place where old boy was at, where whatever hurt he was involved in, where he felt so overwhelmed to be willing to pull out a gun and just, you know, very loosely shoot it, he ain't in the same place now to heal it.
No.
Like,
no.
You can work on it now because you're not in the same place. And sometimes people are going to have to intervene and reposition us in life in order to get us up out of those places. That's how sometimes we bring about that change.
Wow. And he's going to, if he gets convicted, well, he's been found guilty. Mm-hmm. If he could get convicted or they give him the full price, he could spend 23 years in prison.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Shooting her in the foot.
So somebody's going to now physically move you because clearly you're living and trying to grow and thrive, like I said before, on this hurt, you know, that we're going to reference as your foundation. And it was poor and it's incorrect. And instead of you seeking out help to correct your actions or yourself, and instead of somebody being willing to talk to you or send you over some resources, and somebody is physically having to intervene in your life in order to get you to a place where hopefully you can start that healing process, because you can't heal in the same places where you were hurt at. So if you outside, guess what? They're gonna sit you down so that you can try to heal now on the inside.
There you go, on the inside. And I think, T, that's kind of like where we are as a society are in general. I think we have dealt with pain and hurt at such a mind-boggling number because of you had COVID, then you got the just how the world is turning. You have the crazy ass the climate change and people suffering. People can't, they're not getting paid what they should getting paid. So it's like we're internalizing a lot of hurt, just general hurt. So if you got somebody who has hurt from being brought up and now they get hurt out here in the world, which we both know don't give a rat's ass about nobody per se. They don't care.
It's not supposed to.
No. So if the world doesn't care about you, who raised you didn't really give a shit about you, and now you're telling them, oh, you need to do better. They're like, why or how? But they know their life is miserable. They know that they're in a world of hurt, and they just don't know what to do. All they can do is look at this. Oh, well, you know what? I can look forward to maybe doing something a little different next year. But what you gonna do different? You don't know any better. You don't know any different. And you want to look at TikTok. You want to look at TikTok. You want to look at all this other fuck shit that's out here that's giving you suggestions, but it's not really giving you what you need to get the real help. You're not really looking at yourself and saying, I am missing whatever.
But what you're talking about is basically the do. Did you do any of the things or any of the tasks for the change in order to get the change? Did you do it? Right?
Yes.
Like if you wanted to move out of home, right? Did you actually do the things that you needed to do in order to move out? Like, did you save the money? Did you go to work? Did you check on your credit score? Right? Those are the things that you would have to do in order to get the change. Now, let's say you only did two out of those three things. Did you do the work? No, you did some of the work, and almost is not counted. So the do part, right? You might have the information and you might know everything that you need to do in order to get the change that you want. But did you do it?
Did you do it? That is so true.
Yeah. I mean, think about buying a home, right? Let's say you got the proper credit score, right? Let's say you make enough money, right? Let's say that you even went online and picked out a home, right? Did you buy a house?
That's true. If you went through all that, you should went through the entire process.
Did you
But you know a lot of people do? They get to that point and they realize, oh, what? I need $25,000. Oh, I ain't got $25,000.
But remember, even that was the first thing I mentioned. You have the money. You save the money. Even with everything you need, right? Some people still just won't do it. And that's where that slogan probably came from. Just do it. Because I mean, for real, think about it. Think about it. All you have to do is get up and actually do those small steps that end up leading to something big, right? That gets you exactly what it is that you want. You could talk about leaving a guy, right? Per se, right? Let's say you live with him. Did you check your credit score? Did you start putting in some overtime? Did you start spending less money? Did you start saving? Because if you're going to want to move, right, and you're with the guy and you know, let's say there's no kids involved, right? you're going to want to move to another place. And there's certain things that you can't just say, hey, no, I just want to break up with this guy and pretend like you don't need somewhere to lay your head at. Like you don't, have anything else outside that you have to do in order to just kind of move on, right? You got to actually do some things. And then let's say that you do all those things, check up on your credit score, figure out a new apartment, do all those things. And then you just can't break up with the guy. No, you got to actually do it. And then you got to do it all. You got to actually do it all. And that's how you're going to get the change, because so many people will start off, how we said when we first started, get a journal out, start writing down some changes, make some goals, get some action steps in there. You'll do all those things, right?
Yes.
You'll be right at the finish line. You'll be looking at it. It's right there.
That's true. You're right there.
And you're just not going to cross over it. So you did a lot. You did a lot. And you just didn't do enough. Like, put in the work and do it.
Oh, God. I swear, we've been saying that all year. In different podcasts all year, we've been saying you have to do the work. Every time we gave people a situation, we always tell them you have to do the work. Because we can sit there and tell you everything you need to know, but if you do not put the effort in to make the changes in your life, it just won't happen. It's again, another year will come and go. You'll watch the ball drop down New York. 2023 and 2023 come here. It'll be just like 2022, 2021, 2020, 2019. Name a year, because you won't make the step necessary to really make the change in your life to get where you want to get to. And people will say, "Oh, it look like it's easy for y'all. Y'all got here." Let me tell you all. Let me look at the camera and tell y'all, motherfuckers, this was not easy. To get to where I am, to get where T is, was not fucking easy. And also tell you, we still on that grind. We still putting in the work.
The other part about the work is that the work is different for me than it is for you, and that's going to be different for everybody. So someone said, what does that even mean? Put into work. Well, it depends on what you're trying to achieve and what type of change. Are you progressing and trying to change and do something different at work? Are you trying to change and progress and do something different, within a relationship? Is that relationship with someone intimate? Is that relationship with the sibling? Is that relationship, with the parent? Because it's the work that you're going to have to do. And each of those situations is going to be a total, different level of work. If I'm trying to, buy a new car, right? My work and my change is going to be the way that I approach the time that I put into work now, right? Versus the time, the money that I'm getting out of it. So now the work that I'm putting in is a financial approach versus if I'm trying to make up with my guy, right? The work that I'm putting in to make up with the guy is going to be a total different approach and a total different, bit of work than it is, versus me working and putting in that work, so to speak, and in my workplace.
Exactly. And I think, because we have talked so much about it, I'm just going to come in and say it. Get out of your head. You have to get a journal and write it down. In your head, you can talk yourself in and out of things all day long. And people have done it. People continue to do it every day. They talk themselves into a situation, talk themselves out of a situation.
Yep.
You have to say, if you want it bad enough, and I'll say this to you, if you want anything bad enough, you have to write it down, come with a blueprint. If you don't have a blueprint, if you don't have a plan, you are going to fail.
Yeah.
It's as simple as that. We can sit around.
You just won't succeed.
You just won't. Yes, you won't. Yes. yes. See,
however you want to slice it. However you want to put it.
But it's like, it's not, it's, if you want to have a discussion with yourself, because it's about you have to discuss with yourself and say, I am tired of being where I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired. And a lot of people will look at this and say, yes, I'm there. I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired. I'm sick and tired of bad relationships. I'm sick and tired of my job. I'm sick and tired of where I'm at. I'm sick and tired of being 40 with no man. I'm tired of being 50 with no man. I'm tired of being 60 with no man. I'm tired of being 70 with no man. And I also go with guys, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70 with no woman. I'm tired of being, you know, out of shape. I'm tired of being mentally screwed. I'm tired of being just lost.
So you know what you listen off, right? Those called
No,
ailments and symptoms. Them ailments and symptoms of your hurt. What's going on? That's what those sound like. You exhausted, you're tired, can't find a man. Like those is all the ailments and the symptoms of some type of hurt that's going on. What's going
yes,
on? Where you can't
yes,
find a man for 10 years. What's going on where you can't settle down for 20 years? Like what's going on? There's some type of hurt that's there and involved, and you stand right there where you at, and you're talking about, you know, you've been here for so long and you can't move from point A to point B.
exactly,
Mm-hmm.
exactly. And it's frustrating because you hear it, you see it every day, and it's kind of like, and somebody sends a comment and said, y'all be slapping people all over the place. You try and make people. I understand you give us information, but you make me feel bad. Good. I want you to feel bad. In fact,
Wow.
I want you to feel real
Wow.
bad because I don't want you to be miserable no more. T
Yeah.
does not want you to be miserable no more.
No, the job is to
Nobody
get
wants
you
to be
to the
miserable.
other side of the spectrum. Like if
Yes,
it makes you feel bad, do the work and get you to where you're supposed to be at. At least now you know.
exactly. Because I'm not gonna sugarcoat shit. I'm
No,
not gonna sugarcoat shit. T ain't gonna sugarcoat
there's been
shit.
too much sugar going on out here.
Too much.
Yeah.
And that's why you look around at the end of the year, you probably, you Christmas time, you probably sit around and thought about the things that you wanted, didn't get, all the things that you should have had, but you don't have. And you
Mm-hmm.
look at next year like, I'm gonna get it. How are you gonna
Mm-hmm.
get it when you don't even know what it's gonna take to get what you want? Because you never written it down, took the time,
Uh-huh.
took enough time for yourself. For
Mm-hmm.
yourself. Not for anybody else, you. To sit down in a journal, as I told we said from day one, the first episode, we said get a journal and write down what you want to do. And that way you look at it every single day to say, what am I working towards? You got to have a purpose. You can't just exist in this life with no damn purpose. You just can't say, oh, it'll work itself out. And next thing you'll know, you'll be 6 feet under with a nice little damn cinder block on top of your head that says, here lies blah blah blah, year dash year. And that dash was everything that you played around with, and now it is over. Don't
Mm-hmm.
make 2023 to be another year like 2022 or any other year. Make the decision, sit down, really sit down, and ask yourself, what do I want to do? If I'm not happy with my life, make the change. I don't want to sound like Michael Jackson, but make the change. Do the
Yeah,
work.
like we always say, start off to make a small change first. Right, like how they tell you to pay off your credit. Start with the smallest past due bill, right? Just make
Yes,
a small change first, right? Get that
exactly.
ball rolling. Just start with a small change for the new
That,
year.
that's it.
Not even the new year, just moving forward.
Yes. Do it today. You don't got to wait till the ball drop.
No.
Today. Just look and say, today I'm going to make that change and I'm going to do what I need to do.
Mm-hmm.
Because we, T and I, want everybody to be happy. Nobody wants to end this ride and be laying somewhere or be anywhere and that day is about to end and you're like, damn, I didn't get a chance to, or wish I shoulda, coulda, woulda. It's a lot of people in nursing homes right now saying that whole thing about I wish I shoulda, coulda, woulda, and they have all the excuses in the world. Doesn't change the fact of where they are. They just have excuses.
Mm-hmm.
You can take all that to the grave with you. Excuses, complaints, regrets, all that bullshit. But it doesn't mean anything because we want you to live your best life. We want you to be the best you can be.
Because what ends up happening with that is you end up sharing, you know, your best life with the people around you, right?
Yes.
And we have
Yes.
those happy times together, those great memories together, and you know, you share for minds, and that's
Yes.
how we create that great life, and that's what it's all about.
It is, D. It really is. I mean, the thing is, and reevaluate your friends. We're very look at everything. I mean, if you when you sit down writing your little journal, look at everything. Look
Mhm.
at yourself. Look at the people around you. Look at what's happening. And if you say, "Damn, I don't like what's happening around me. I don't like what's going on with me," you can make the change. Just do it. It's gonna be hard. It's
The
gonna be hard.
friends are part of that environment that you in, right?
Yep.
So double check up on that they, ain't no germs on them.
Oh,
Germs are
yes.
somewhere in your environment,
Yes, they
and
are.
you're gonna have to rid them. You can't rid yourself.
No, you can't. You have to look around and make that change and heal. It's time for you to heal yourself. It's not a badge of honor to be suffering. It's not a
No.
badge of honor. So I'm surviving, I'm barely hanging in there every day.
Mm-mm.
Nobody gives a shit about
Mm-mm.
that.
Yeah.
Nobody gives a damn about that. You want to live your best life. As a child, you had dreams. You had aspirations. Along the way, things happen. Some things you could control, other things you couldn't control. That's fine. But
Mm-hmm.
you're an adult now. You're a functioning, thinking, loving adult. Love yourself enough to make those changes necessary so you can heal properly and get out of that toxic world of filth that's stopping you from progressing to where you're going to be.
Mm-hmm.
That's all we're asking. That's all we're telling you.
What they say, don't just survive, you're supposed to thrive.
Yes. Who the hell just
Mhm.
wants to survive? Oh, I
Mhm.
survived the day. Woo, I made it another day. Who gives a
No,
shit?
let's thrive out here.
Let's thrive.
Yeah, let's put ourselves in a proper environment where we can heal, move on, and let's grow.
There you go.
Mm-hmm.
So ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna end that right here because next year we're gonna have a whole lot of other conversations to have with you about improving your life and getting you to that point of happiness. Again, we want all you guys to be happy. And I'm gonna say, it's been a pleasure to just talk to you guys and to just give you guys our experience in our lives. And you can take it and use it, discard it, use parts of it. Doesn't matter to us. All we want you to do is live a better life. All we want you to do is be happy.
Mm-hmm.
We want you to be happy.
Live
That's all we
your
ask.
version of your better life.
Live your
Yeah.
version of happiness. That's all. And,
Mhm.
and and when you live that version, you keep sending us those comments about, hey, you helped us. I said at the very beginning, if we can help one person,
Mhm.
it's successful. That's all. If we have one person make a change in their life, we have accomplished what we want to accomplish. But we're far from that. But I just want to say again, thank you guys for being here, to supporting us, and we're gonna keep supporting you guys. So again, at the end of the year or today, to get a journal, buy a journal, get it in front of, it could be a notebook. Just sit down and fill out what you really what you want to do next year, and just do a list. Let's put a list together, my people. And with that, I'm going to end the end of the year of On the Mic with the M.
And see.
And you know what to do. Hit that like and subscribe button. You can reach the M at Overcome to Become on IG. And T, how the people can reach you?
At Trust_City on Instagram.
Hey, again, you guys have a wonderful holiday season, a wonderful new year, and we'll be back with some new digs and some new comments and some new topics. So again, we love you guys. Peace and blessings. See you soon.